Hey viewers, my name is Nev.
And this is Andrew.
And this is
Newlvl Auto Reviews. Okay viewers, today we're going to do a review on this 2017 Toyota Aqua. So let's dive in.
Alright guys, so we kick off this review with the exterior styling of the 2017 Aqua. As we can see here, we have a character line that starts at the front bumper and flows into the hybrid badge. Very conservative character line. As we pass the driver door, we notice that we have our side view mirror with integrated indicator lights. Making our way this way towards the door handle, we have a through grip. As we follow the character line all the way right here to another through grip, we make our way to the back. Alright guys, let's take a look at the rear. We have two massive taillights that flow into the low-hanging bumper. If we take a look at the trunk itself, we have our Toyota logo with blue accents that you know it's a hybrid. Also right here, we have our hybrid synergy drive badge. We look right here, we have a very narrow window, but we also have a very sporty wing at the top. Taking a look at the interior, we have great cargo space for this small economy car. And if we take a look on the inside, ample space. On the passenger side, we have our fuel door right here. And if we take a look at the front, we have our tires, which are 175/65 R15s on this model with hubcaps. All right guys, now we're gonna do the front. Taking a look right here, we have a massive windshield that gives you great visibility. Coming down to our bonnet, we have a subtle line right here that gives it a nice sporty look. Coming to our headlights, we have fierce looking headlights. We do have HID projector low beams. In this model, we have replaced the high beams with aftermarket LEDs. Coming right here, we have our Toyota badge with the blue accent, letting you know it's a hybrid again. And if you look right here, we have a nice blacked out grille. Coming across this side, we do have our indicator in the bumper, and we do have a nice cutout for fog lamps if you ever decide to add some. Alright guys, let's talk about what's going on in the engine bay. Right here we have our 1.5 liter naturally aspirated inline 4 engine, mated with a inverter system coupled with a traction motor. The combined power of the system gives you about 100 horsepower and about 80 pound-feet of torque. If you look right here, we see a fluid. This is responsible for cooling the entire electrical system of the hybrid setup. And if you look right here, we have our airbox, we have our washer fluid fill, we have our fuse and relay housing. Right here we have our brake fluid reservoir, and if we look right here, we have our cool and fill cap. All of this combined gives you the hybrid system.
Alright guys, so we're going to do the interior review of the 2017 Toyota Aqua. Right, so starting off, we have hard plastics for our door panel. The soft touch material right here for your elbow to rest on. We have our door handle. We have our window switches right here. Rear switches, passenger switch, and door and driver side switch, which is fully auto. We have our central locking, and we have our window lock switch. Moving further down, we have a little storage space right here, along with our bottle holder, and we have integrated speakers in the door. Moving over to this side, we have our 5-prong AC vent right here. Below that, we have our mirror controls, our headlight angle light switch, our lane departure button, and our collision warning button, right? Along with a auto fog light button. Further down, we have our bonnet release switch and our gas tank release switch, right? Coming back up here, this model is key start, but you do have other models at upper trims that come with a push button that will be located right here. Alright guys, so we're going to give you guys a look of how the car looks inside when it's fully turned on. This is an EV vehicle, right? So you won't always hear the engine come on, but you will see a ready symbol come up in the instrument cluster. Alright guys, so continuing with the interior view, right? We have our steering wheel. The steering wheel does have a nice feel to it, and as you can see, this model doesn't have any buttons, right, on the steering wheel. But you do have higher trims that do come with buttons. To the left of the steering wheel, we have our wiper controls, and to the right, we have our headlight controls, right? This car doesn't come with any auto headlights. Moving up to the top here, we have our housing for our crash collision sensor and our lane departure sensor. And right here, so we have our OEM rearview mirror, and this car does have an aftermarket dash cam attached to it. Moving on to the instrument cluster, right? We have our speed display right there, so our gear shifter positioning displayed, our fuel level, right? Our power meter right there with a little charge indicator below it, our battery level, and average fuel consumption as long as the odometer trip. And then to the leftmost side, we have all our warning lights, which are usually displayed in red. Moving further down, we have our AC vents right here, so rather odd-shaped AC vents, but they get the job done. Further below that, we have our aftermarket Android infotainment system, and to the right of that, we have our hazard button, our odometer trip button, and our display button, along with our time setting controls right here. So further down, we have our climate control buttons right here, so our temperature knob, which has a nice click to it. Alright guys, so below our climate controls, we have our 12-volt power outlet. Right? Below that, we have a little compartment right here, right, to fit whatever into. We have our cup holders, right? We have our gear shifter, nice feeling gear shifter. And below that, right, we have these 4 buttons right here. So first one being traction control button, the other one being a button where the car will make a sound if in EV mode to alert people of your presence, right? So you can use that button to turn a feature on or off. Below that, we have our eco mode button, which helps with fuel consumption. And below that, we have our EV mode button, which puts the car into full battery mode, so no engine, right? And it can maintain that mode up until 40 kilometers, or if the battery runs down to a certain level, the engine will kick in, right here. So we have our manual parking brake and one last cup holder right here, so along with a little compartment right here. And over here in the passenger side, we have a little compartment right here, right, little document holder, along with our glove box right here, and bottle holder, speaker, documents holder, door handle. Pretty much the same layout as the driver's side.
Alright guys, let's take a look at the rear passenger seating. It is rather tighter than other vehicles in this size class. The headroom is very limited, but that's due to the sloping top of the vehicle. So if you want that sporty look, you're gonna compromise on some headroom. Again, some days I'm 5'10", some days I'm 5'11", depends on how my height decides to behave. And the space around here is very tight, like with the seat pushed all the way back and the back of the seat not extended but in a normal position. I hardly have any leg room for my knees to have any space off the back. The limited space is as a result of the hybrid battery system and the main batteries being housed under the seat. Yes, it is safe. Toyota has done a great job making sure that placement is optimized. And that's mainly because they want to ensure that you have space around the back for a spare. You can keep a run flat kit in the vehicle as well, but there is a space there for a spare if you need it. Speaking of which, let's take a look at the hybrid battery system. Alright guys, let's take a look at the hybrid battery system. So what we have right here is a 144 volt, 6500 milliamp hour battery pack, right? And that sends power to a 45 kilowatt motor. Now, if you guys are interested in the material that compromises this battery, it's a nickel metal hydride battery. The main battery is a regular 12 volt battery, and this particular one is 340 cold crank amps. Alright guys, let's take a look at the trunk space. So you can see we have ample trunk space right here, and as I said earlier, there is space for a spare, and if you guys want, you can even tuck a run flat kit either to the side or somewhere in the boot well here.
Okay viewers, so now we're going to do the driving review of the 2017 Toyota Aqua. So let's get to it. Alright guys, so talking about the suspension, we're going over a little bump right there, and as you can see, the car, it goes over it fairly well. You know, it's very smooth suspension, and this car provides a very comfortable ride, right? The steering feel of this car is very smooth. You know, this car does use electronic power steering, as with most modern commuter cars these days, right? And the steering is very direct, right? Soft but direct. There's not much effort you need to put into steering this vehicle. acceleration in this car is pretty good. You know, you put your foot down, it pretty much reaches 60 kilometers very fast. But beyond that speed, you do start to feel a power drop, right? You can tell that this car is really tailored for city driving. So they prioritize that over top speed. Alright guys, so we're at a stoplight right now and moving on from a dead stop. The car picks up very nice and smooth. As the power delivery is very linear, right? It reaches up to speed fairly quickly, well, at least the 60 kilometer mark, right? As it comes to driver comfort, the car is very comfortable, right? The seat very nice and soft. You know, this car could definitely get you through a long journey very comfortably. You know, no back pain, no stress, right? The cabin noise, it's quite minimal, not much road noise coming into the cabin. It's fairly moderate, right? So talking about fuel economy of this car is rated for around 25 kilometers per liter, or if you want to put it in other words, 3.9 liters per 100 kilometer, which is not bad for this car. I mean, it's a hybrid, so it's very good fuel economy. The brakes on this car, they're very solid, they're very responsive, they hold tight. Alright guys, so talking about deceleration, right? This car comes to a stop very well, right? The braking response is sharp, right? Very precise as well. You get a nice feedback from the braking of this car, right? Alright guys, so talking about visibility, right? Looking through the windshield, visibility, right? It is very broad, right? As it comes to the mirrors in this car are nicely positioned. They're big enough to give you a decent view of what's going on around you. Alright guys, so we're about to go up a fairly steep hill, so let's see how this car handles that. Alright, so going up the hill from a dead start, right? The car handles it fairly decent, right? It does give a lot of power output to climb this hill, but it will get you up there, right? It will get you up there. It's fairly decent. Alright guys, so we're about to do a hill start, right? Just to see how this car handles starting off on a steep hill, right? So first we're going to put the car in drive, right? Load the throttle and release handbrake. And it takes off very good, right? Very smooth takeoff, no struggling. It will definitely take you up on a steep hill very easily, right? And now let's talk about rear visibility. So I'm about to do a park, right? This little space right there. Using the rear view mirrors, a nice view of what's around me, along with a very high quality reverse camera and infotainment system. Right, so this car is very easy to park. Right? You have no issue with visibility as it comes to this car. Alright guys, so now I'm going to demonstrate the regen braking to you. Alright, the first thing I'm going to do is release the brake pedals completely and show you what happens in that scenario. And then after that I'm going to apply the brakes and show you the regen that happens in that scenario. Alright, so let's get started. So foot completely off the brakes right now. As you can see, regen occurs. I'm getting 1 bar And as I apply the brakes now, you can see that the bars increase, putting out maximum output to the regen braking, right? And that bar level goes up and down depending on the amount of brake you're applying. Alright guys, so that pretty much does it for the driving review of this car.
Alright guys, so this has been our review of the 2017 Toyota Aqua. We really hope you guys love this video.
Also remember to like, comment and subscribe. We really love to hear your feedback in the comment section. And remember to follow our social media pages. They'll be linked in the description down below. Also, we'd like to give a very special thanks to the owner of this vehicle. And
we really want to thank you guys for sticking around with us. We're working on a lot of stuff behind the scenes, so there is a lot of new content coming soon. So just keep an eye out.
yeah man. So with that being said, this has been Newlvl Auto Reviews, signing out.